What's going on, traders? So Bitcoin is losing hold on some key levels, and the 18th of June option expiry did lead into some max pain price action, guys, which is why it's quite necessary to take a look at options time to time whenever, especially whenever there is a major expiry coming in. Yes, your options data is going to be very significant, guys. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin from all the different perspectives, from your moving average, from your momentum perspective, from your ribbon perspective, and your general support resistance perspective as well. Now, this is a weekend, guys. This is a weekend. I don't think that the price action movements happening on the weekend, when Bitcoin is range bound between $42,000 and $30,000 levels, is going to be that significant. The price movement is not going to be that significant, which is why we can dig deep and zoom in into the price action and really dissect what's going on, right? So jumping onto the coin option track website again, guys. Now this is all right. Let's talk about this major expiry coming in on 25th of June, guys. Holy shit, we got 66,000 option expiring on 25th of June, right? Now the max pain is standing in at 40,000. All right, now I hate to use this word max pain. It's but guys, essentially that means that if Bitcoin stays somewhere alongside $40,000 levels when these options are expiring, most of the options are going to expire in losses, guys. And this is exactly what you saw on 18th of June. This is what you saw happening, guys. We had 13,000 options expiring, and the max pain was somewhere alongside $37,000 levels. Bitcoin did close onto some key levels, onto those exact regions, right? Essentially, yes, your max pain, I mean, the word is funny, but your max pain level is relevant to determine what's going on and who's going to win and who's going to lose, guys. Well, the previous time majority lost. Let's see what's going to happen right now. Me personally, the way the price action is formulating itself, it's towards the bearish end. It's certainly towards the bearish end, and I think the max pain is going to come into fruition. Whereas also, there is one more contrarian factor which I personally feel, since we are dealing with an extreme outlier of an option expiry. This is crazy. 66,000 options expiring in one single day. This is madness. This is a lot of options, right? Since we are dealing with a lot of liquidity in the market, I think it's going to be very choppy back again. I think it's going to be very difficult to pinpoint the exact areas and essentially to trade as well, guys. But for that matter, we're going to figure out the exact zones of supply and demand, guys. We took this one out right here. And look, I was talking about how Bitcoin, if it takes down $38,000 levels to the downside, this entire support, yeah, man, this was a free floating downside price action onto these levels, right? Now we are looking at the retest of this low back again, guys. We do not want to lose this structure now. What essentially this is formulating is a higher high and a higher low kind of situation right here. We are still formulating a low which is higher than this one. Although, I mean, look, guys, this is not really this is not good price action. This is on the first and the foremost pass, yes, I would think about this one as an immediate continuation. If we start losing this level onto the downside, onto some move. Look, guys, now the 4-hour time frame certainly has become very choppy, which means that we got to shift our time frame to invalidate this low right here, which means that 12-hour closure, guys. 12-hour closure coming in on the next 2 hours, I guess. Yep, and I think it's going to be very sideways back again, guys. Look, most likely your invalidation is going to be back here again. So if you have that bearish perspective, if you have that short mentality right here, your invalidation is going to be standing all the way above 6.5%, guys. We got a range back again onto the weekend. It's a Saturday, and guess what? Bitcoin is in a range up between this point and this point right here. So this could happen. I think we could do something like that as well. And all right, I'm not saying this is something that is really going to happen, but most likely we're going to be having a range bound behavior back again, guys. And once we start taking the wick of this low right here, bears will start having more and more conviction to bring the price to the downside. And the next stop, once we start ticking below this exact price point right here on a closing basis. Now this is a wick. If we start closing 4-hour candles below this wick right here, yes, you will have your continuation move to the downside, guys. Although it's a weekend, I mean, look, me personally, I will always be skeptical in a bear trend to trade over a weekend, guys. I would always look, it's necessary to have that conservative mindset right now in the market. The market is not that giving. I was talking about how FOMO is not supposed to control you right now. It's just pointless, guys. It's completely pointless right now. This is a choppy price action zone. Although if you are trading those small time frames like a ninja, I would still recommend you to stay away from the market during a weekend. But if you start look, guys, this is the 1 hour time frame. If you start trading above the 21 symbol on the 1 hour time frame and formulate a support right here, yes, you could start picking up your momentum to the upside back again, guys. Now judging by the RSI right here, this is quite oversold, and it does not mean that it's going to bounce immediately from here, guys. Prices indices can stay oversold for a the RSI can be oversold for a very long time, and still you can see crazy price action continuation to the downside, guys. Crazy guy. Now, if I were to manage my risk, although I mean, look, I'd be very, very skeptical, guys. I would be very skeptical, because again, it's a weekend, and whoever's got the liquidity can control the price action between a range, guys, because not a lot of professional traders are trading during Saturdays and Sunday. So I would essentially want to manage my risk onto these levels if I'm short on Bitcoin, right? If I'm aggressive, if I'm completely blown out aggressive and I'm trading on 25x leverage in the market, I would control my risk right here. Although it's a blatant form of stupidity to trade on 25x leverage. Holy shit, guys! Why would you want to take money which is 25 times more than what you can afford? This is what leverage is, right? This is what leverage is. I mean, look, you can go ahead and you can take your 100x long position in the market, but what does that mean? That means that you are borrowing 100 times more than you can afford. Certainly you're going to lose. Certainly you're going to lose, guys. Now, some people could hit the jackpot. Some people could simply just try to long all the way down and just hit that one single. I mean, guys, is it a good logic long term? No. It's bad habits. It's called being a trading addict, guys. It's called being a, yes, just like any other addiction, market is also an addiction, and people do get addicted to trading. And look, guys, this is a cycle. This is a vicious cycle, right? You keep on fighting against the market, and you're not realizing that, holy shit, this is not in your control. And you still keep on fighting. You keep on fighting. Why? Because you are addicted to gambling and you're addicted to trading, guys. If you want to trade, if you want to take this profession seriously, and if you really want to have that trading game in your control, I think the first and the foremost essential thing is to trade less. And what is this right here? This is a freaking stupid chop, guys. Ever since we lost this one right here, yes, this was a trade. This was a good looking trade right here. Right now, what are we looking at? We are looking at nothing. We're looking at blown out sideways price action back again. Until we start trending below this low right here, I don't think there's any directional bias continuation to the downside. Although if we jump onto the 12-hour time frame, yes, you are losing your momentum, guys. You can start managing your momentum trades to the downside as well above this moving average, guys. Most likely what could happen is that in today's and tomorrow's time frame, we could put in a lot of choppy chop price action between this support and this moving average and this resistance right here, guys. This could be a range. This could be a good, well-defined range in the coming weekend itself. Now, what is the TSI? All right. Do I really trust this one a lot? I mean, not that much, guys. Look at the chop which is happening alongside the TSI as well. I mean, indicators like TSI are into a chop. I think you should stay away, guys. If such indicators can be confused, holy shit, what are you? Are you a god? You cannot predict the exact top and bottom, guys. This is a complete chop. If you go short, it'll go up. If you go long, it will go down. I mean, this is what a chop is. This is what a chop feels like. I mean, guys, look, the bias is certainly inclined to the downside, but essentially I would not put a lot of weight into the small time frames. What is your invalidation right here? Your simple swing invalidation is standing in at $41,000 per Bitcoin, guys. I mean, until we are clearing this one to the upside, yes, your trend is going to be certainly to the downside, and at least we are going to be coming out of these levels, guys. I think the short side trade has already gone. I mean, the train has already left, right? It's already gone. Essentially, would I be wanting to take new positions in the market, new short positions in the market? Nope. I mean, yes, this could have been a nice, this could have been a nice entry in the market for a little short position. Now, none of this is a financial advice. These things cannot be a financial advice, guys. Come on. If you lose money in the market and you are like, oh man, I lost money because I was dedicated. No, guys. I think the system that you were following was not under perfect formulation, and you did go against your own will, which is why something went wrong, guys. You know what went wrong, right? Now, look, this is a blame game which a lot of people like to play because, guys, trading can be pretty lonely. Trading as a profession, trading as an activity as well, can be pretty lonely, right? You can look outside, the skies might be blue and the birds might be chirping and everybody would be living their lives, and you could just go for a 5-figure losses onto your screen in an environment which is completely silent, guys. So essentially, the person which is next to you is never going to understand what's going to be happening and what is really happening in your head while you're going through losses, and everything around you is fine. So, guys, trading as a profession is a fight against yourself. Essentially, this is what I talk about again and again on this channel from in terms of a psychological perspective. It's a fight against yourself. The more peace you can maintain within yourself, the more success you will see in the market for yourself as well. I mean, I can 110% affirm with this fact, guys. I have been talking about how this is an entire choppy chop zone, guys. There is no need for taking any swing position. There's no, basically cutting down on the expectation is the best thing you can do right now in the market, because of the choppy environment, guys, because of the just undecided price action. Right now, once we start taking these levels to the upside, once we start trending above $42,000 levels, yes, you can attempt a little swing position to the upside for all the way a retest of $50,000 levels, guys. Although I got to bring your attention back into one thing again, guys. Now, I'm not going to confuse a lot of you, but if I were to compare a price action behavior to anything right now, guys, this is something, I mean, okay, the kind of sentiment, the kind of how do I talk? The kind of market dynamics and the price action dynamics that were happening onto these levels, guys, something like that is replicating back again onto these levels, which is why it's a complete chop, which is why, look, guys, these are general price action behaviors. Now, I don't mean to say that this is the exact thing which is going to happen right now, but this could happen, guys, because we do have a lot of new liquidity in the market, a lot of new traders are there in the market, which is why it's quite easy to trap all of these players, guys. It's quite easy to trade to trap the retail crowd, because if you have a lot of Bitcoin in supply, you can create a range for yourself and let the price action trade within the range, whereas you will be just sitting in the sidelines watching all the small retail crowd getting liquidated between a 10 to 20% range, guys. These things are quite easy to do. I mean, look, a lot of people would call this manipulation, but I think if you have the liquidity and if you have 100,000 Bitcoin in your wallet, I think you would not complain about that, because you would be the one manipulating the market. This is how the story goes. Now, essentially, what happened right here? We off we go to the moon. Bam. We down. Breaking the structure, breaking the complete structure right here, guys. This is what happened right here. Just shattering this one, and there we go, down. And check this out, guys. This is what we are dealing with. This is the kind of price action structure we are dealing with essentially right now. Bear trap, bull trap, to the upside, to the downside. Holy fucking shit. And nobody even able to pinpoint this exact run to the upside. Whereas your macro trending behavior was to the downside, was completely to the downside, guys. You created a bull trap all the way for this price action. I mean, this is crazy, guys. I think anybody can be trapped out right here, guys. 36% up move, but essentially on these environments or these conditions, what do you look at, guys? You never really took this high. You never really took the last high of rejection, which is why I constantly talk about the fact that how $58,000 Bitcoin is the most essential area to get that. All right, to get that FOMO back in your head, most likely for crypto markets. I guess below this high right here, there is absolutely no FOMO, guys. This. Don't try to be an investor picking up these exact wicks and selling the next 5 minutes. Don't try to do that. It's going to be very, very confusing, guys. It's going to be very, very confusing to do exactly those things, right? You could be very well going for that little bear trap to the downside, guys. Essentially, what I'm looking at is a potential bear trap coming in at 618 and then picking up to the upside and then testing the 618 retracement right here for this bearish leg, guys. For this one this one is standing in at $49,000 Bitcoin. I think we do not reach, we will not go to $49,000 Bitcoin just like that. It's going to be very tricky. It's going to be very, very tricky, guys. All right, let me just. It's going to be like. I mean, guys, look. It's pretty easy to trap all of these traders, right? Now, all right. Now, on the previous video, I did want to talk about some Fibonacci analysis as well. So let me just get on to some Fibonacci analysis, and I'll try my best to. Well, essentially teach you guys. All right, now I'm here sharing my information. I'm not trying to teach anybody. I'm just trying to, well, you can take this as teachings as well, because, guys, where does teaching come from? Teaching comes from experience, and I share my experience. I share my personal experience in the market with all of you guys. So essentially, what is it? I think it's teachings only. all right. Now, just going by the rule of book, guys. I mean, whatever you see in textbook, just going by that. And how do you analyze your general Fibonacci trends right here? So if you're looking at a bullish leg to the upside, right? For example, the price action just started trending to the upside. Now, this is applicable onto any time frame for that matter, right? Now, what I would say is that the small term time frames can be manipulatable. Small time frames can be manipulated, whereas the higher time frames, the bigger time frames, the macro picture is going to be very, very difficult to manipulate. accumulate, guys, which is why these patterns are certainly applicable in the small time frames, although I would be putting a lot of weight into these kind of patterns in the macro picture rather than getting into those 1 minute and 10 minute time frames and figuring out those Fibonacci levels, right? So essentially what happens is that once you start emerging bullishly out of any trend, you go to the upside, and when you see that interim top being put, guys, when you see that down move coming into reality right here, what happens is that you take this breakout range right here, and then you talk about this extension stop, and essentially you see the price action hovering onto this golden pocket, guys. Essentially, look. What happens is that you start speculating onto these ranges right here. You start speculating onto the 382 extension and the most important extension sitting in at 618 retracement, guys. The 618 of any structure is very important, right? So once the price action comes onto the 618 extension, look, guys, the price can certainly get accumulated right here. And if we start taking, all right, let me not confuse you, guys. I think I'm simply confusing you back again, right? All right, wait, let me get rid of this one as well, real quick. So essentially what can happen is the price can simply start getting accumulated alongside this, the 382, guys, in a bullish structure, in a very strong emerging bull trend. Your price retracements essentially establish their base somewhere alongside the 382 extension, right? Now, what are we dealing with right now? We're not dealing with any bullish exuberance in the market, which is why these immediate retracements, this 382 retracement is not going to be that important, which is why, guys, any retracement which goes to the downside is going to be extending most likely all the way towards 618, right? But let's talk about a strong bull trend. So in a strong bull trend, you would come all the way on to 382, get accumulated, get supported right here, and as soon as you look, guys, when you reach onto the 1-on-1 extension right here, you got to check out the volume spike in as well. If you see the volume spike in onto these levels and you see a little outlier, for example, the volume is like this, I mean, it's not that much, but when you come here and you see that huge volume spike, that are your key indications that maybe the price can come back down again and just get accumulated alongside these levels, but it will have that continuation going on, right? And how do you determine your further targets, guys? You take the opposite of this one. All right, and you extend your targets towards 1.272 and 618 in a breakout, guys, in a breakout, right? Now, essentially what could happen is that all of your breakouts that happen out of these ranges could be formulating a triangle, guys, because this is what crypto market loves. This is what happens again and again in crypto markets. I'm talking about a bullish motion under formulation. Essentially, we are not looking at these patterns right now, but this is what happens in a strong bull trend formulation, right? You do formulate a squeeze right here alongside some key Fibonacci levels, and then you extend your upside targets towards these levels and these levels, right? Now, essentially, guys, these 1-on-1 extension, 1-on-2 extension really depends on how the price action range is like, and it really depends on the strength of the first wave, on the strength of the initial wave. So to understand the momentum coming from the first wave, it's look, guys, what I'm trying to say is it's very important to understand your first emerging wave, your first emergence, your first trend emergence is really important to understand. And the most important behavior, the most important price action behavior, even in terms of the continuation, will come out of this entire leg, guys. Most of the thesis will come out of this entire leg that initiated that bull run, right? All right. I think that was it. I think that was it for today's Fibonacci analysis. Let me know down in the comments if you want to maybe go for some more educational stuff like this. So you know what, guys, I'll be really happy to help all of you guys. And I'm coming up with, so basically it's not me. The Cryptodicator group. Cryptodicator is coming up with some crazy amount of ebooks for your summary, for your essential market summary in terms of patterns and your price action structures, guys. Basically, just the important things to be taken care of in the market, right? A summarized outlook on crypto market is what I'm talking about. Now, I'll be rolling out these ebooks pretty soon, guys. So stay tuned and hit that bell, hit that subscribe as well, guys. I think this is going to be pretty much time-sensitive information henceforth. Bitcoin can do anything, guys. Bitcoin could do anything right now onto these levels. Right now, it's a weekend right now. I don't think there's any need to induce any FOMO in your head for the timing. But essentially, coming into Monday and the preceding week, yes, we are looking at some sort of crazy piece of price action coming in, guys. I'm pretty much sure. Especially looking at the 25th June expiry. Holy crap, that's a big ass expiry coming in, right? That is why, guys, before 25th of June, before the crazy big expiry, there could be a lot of things happening in the market, right? All right. Now jumping on to let's take a look at another perspective on Bitcoin itself. Now this is the momentum perspective, guys. Now this is the MACD, simple MACD right here, and simple price action. None of the moving averages are here right now, guys. And if we just take a look at this momentum oscillation right here, what is this one? This is not strength, guys. For the first and the foremost pass, this is not strength. You tried building your strength right here, but ultimately you did put a hidden bearish divergence on the MACD as well, guys. Look at the momentum that took bulls to just bounce off of this level. I mean, this is just a momentum. I'm trying to give you guys a little momentum perspective in the market, right? Essentially, these things are also important to take a look at. So check this out. I mean, this was a dead cat. This is pretty much dead cat bounce, guys, or this is a price action under formulation right now. This is not a dip. This is not a V-shaped recovery or anything like that. So just take a look at this, guys. The positive momentum on this high right here, sitting in at 59,000 Bitcoin, was this much, right? The positive momentum right here. Now, you never really left the range right here. Whereas your positive momentum, your attempt on leaving the range was so high. Holy shit. And the price action was so below this high right here, guys. This is crazy hidden bearish divergence going on this one right here. So we could have a potential bear flag under formulation, guys. I cannot deny the possibility of this one coming to fruition as well. I mean, I don't see any reason for immediate breakout because, guys, the liquidity is not that much to just push the price action to the downside just like that. So just going by the little conservative mindset, guys, I would not be taking this entire pole as your downside target. Just the little expansion which is going on right here could be your potential downside target. Where is it aligning? This is coming out to some $27,000 levels back again, guys. $27,000, $26,000 levels. Very, 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 very extremely important, guys. Why do I say that? Coming back into Fibonacci. Yep, this is why I'm talking about these levels, guys. This is 618. I think it's not going to be one line down and one line up, guys. You think it's that easy? Nope. Had it been that easy, you would have been millionaire out of making 2 trades in the market. Well, essentially, if you were patient enough, you could have gone for some call options right here. You would have been just exposed long in the market by just going off for some crazy cheap Bitcoin calls and just let those calls ride that trend to the upside. Guys, I saw Bitcoin call options doing 1000x. Every single Bitcoin call option did 1000x. Whoa, man. Holy shit. Blown out. Crazy. In this exponential move to the upside, every single Bitcoin call option did 1000x, guys. In let's just say 1 to 2 month period, it did 1000x. Wow, man. Holy shit. I'll be talking about option market in the coming days as well. As we keep on squeezing down the price action, I will be talking about the options market, guys, and essentially when can you jump into options for that naked exposure and just let those things ride. Although, yes, you got to manage a risk everywhere, guys. Any trade that you take in the market, any trade, wherever you put your money, is going to be at risk. It is going to be at risk. If you have your money in your trading account, that is not your money. That is market's money. Just be very clear. The money that belongs to you is something that you can live your life off of. Is something that you can base a household off of. It's certainly not those fucking USDT which are kept on Binance, right? It's not. It's, guys, the money that you put into your trading account is not your money. It is market's money. Now, a lot of you can just simply argue about the fact that, oh no, but Yuri, I am staking my USDT and I'm earning free money. Well, smart enough. I would not deny the fact that is the smart thing to do in this fucking stupid chop right here, guys. A lot of exchanges are giving you 15% APY right now just by lending your USDT, right? That's the smartest way, guys. That is the smartest way to trade this environment, to be honest with you. Well, to be honest with you, the best trade right now is to sit in USDT, guys. Just judging by the bigger picture, it's all right to miss on this range right here, guys. Even if it is 58%, we are looking at some crazy price action on Bitcoin, guys. Now, these things do happen right now. What is this 50% range in front of this range right here? Look, you have to formulate a perspective for yourself as well. All right, guys. Now, I don't want to ramble anymore in the market again, but essentially, this momentum is not that strong, guys. Naked charting right here, this momentum is not that strong with not even strong conviction to the downside in the bigger picture, not even strong conviction move to the downside or to the upside. It's just, right now it's nothing, guys. Right now it's completely nothing. The best somebody can tell you guys is the fact that this could be 60 to 65% on the bearish end. Not, certainly, guys, I mean, the strong arms is certainly towards the bearish end with a lot of chop, guys. This is what is going on, which is why it's going to be very, very difficult to formulate a good directional bias for a swing position, guys. Cutting down on the expectations to the upside or the downside is the key right now in the market. All right, now next up we have the simplest of all the analysis, guys. This is the ribbon. Right now this comes from templates. You can go to templates and you can just check out the MA exponential ribbon. I think the moon talks about this one. Now this is one thing which I'm going to be aligning with the moon with 100%, guys. Now this is one of the simplest indicators that tells you a lot of things, guys. Now essentially what are we looking at? Let's just bifurcate this one properly. When this top moving average starts crossing to the downside, that is when your main bear trend starts to emerge, right? And ultimately leading to a breakdown, guys. Every single time in any bear market, right? When essentially this one starts crossing to the downside, the fast moving average starts crossing to the downside, starts curling to the downside. That is when your trend is under emergence onto the bearish end, right? Every single time, guys, right? Here was we don't have much history and we can't really do weekly analysis on these kind of time frames, but when you start curling to the downside, that is when your trend is emerging, guys. That is when your bear trend is emerging. Right now, we are potentially doing that, but I don't see it right now. I just don't see it right now, which is why on the macro, on the bigger picture, it's going to be very difficult to take those swing positions and nail those exact moves. If you're expecting to nail 100% move or a 50 or a 60%, that is going to be difficult, which is what I'm talking about. That is going to be really, really difficult. Wow, man, holy shit. Did I just lose? Shit. I guess I did. All right. 25 minutes into this video, I have started rambling, it looks like. All right, guys. So once you start curling to the downside on this exponential ribbon right here, that is when your ultimate bear trend will start emerging, right? Until then, guys, resistance right here, support right here. This is a squeeze. This is a squeeze going on right here. I mean, yep, you can have your little squeeze analysis also alongside these exponential moving averages. This is looking pretty neat as well, to be honest with you, right here. All right, yep, you can do something like this as well. And we are formulating a squeeze. This is a squeeze right here. Now, until you start putting your weekly candles above the top side of this moving average, perfectly aligning with $42,000 Bitcoin, nope, there are no chances of any bearish retracement happening onto the $50,000 levels, guys. This is a chop back again, right? Now, essentially, you want to be long Bitcoin whenever it trends above this moving average, guys. What do we see right here? We are putting this entire bull trend under jeopardy right now. We're getting back into jeopardy. This is directionless behavior on Bitcoin back again. Difficult times. Bear market PTSD. all right, guys. Now, the last analysis for the day is going to be Bitcoin in terms of simple moving average perspective. Simple moving averages, right? All right. Now, not on Binance, certainly on BLX index. That is going to be really helpful, right? On the weekly time frame, you're looking at a bearish cross happening out of these levels. Although this is not a huge death sentence, although it has called out a lot of market tops as well, guys. I'm talking about this cross right here. The previous bear market started right at the market cross, right? The bearish cross happening between the 10 and the 21 more simple moving average, guys. Now this is your 10 simple. This immediate trend line is your 10 simple, right? Now in a strong trending behavior, in a really, really strong trending behavior, guys, the 10 simple really works out. Check this one out. I mean, on the weekly time frame, you were trending alongside the 10 simple moving average, right? So just to give you a little perspective right here, you had this little attempt of getting into a bullish cross right here, but it did not really happen, and that was confirmed by this rejection to the downside. Then you saw that capitulation move to the downside, and then that's the history, right? So this bearish cross happens between the 10 and the 21 on the weekly time frame. Most likely your general trend is under the dark side, is under the bearish control, guys. Bearish control, right? So every single time you can see that. Now this, guys, Bitcoin does not have a lot of data entry points, but I mean, you get the point. The general trending behavior is certainly going to be bearish once you start crossing the downside. The general trend, right? Now, if we just put on all the moving averages back again, we can take a look at the potential supports as well, guys. Now, your major, ultra massive, gigantic support of the 200 simple weekly moving average right now is currently coming in at $15,000 Bitcoin. It's not going to come immediately, guys. It's just not going to happen just like that. I don't think so. It's going to be a very, very lengthy process if we do correct to these levels. But I don't think we're going to be correcting onto these levels, guys. If Bitcoin is able to maintain its posture above the 55 simple and the 100 simple moving average, yes, your 200 simple will catch up. And once it starts getting above the all-time high, yes, your all-time high would have a concrete bias for a long-term support, guys, for a very, very long-term support, $20,000 levels, right? Now, in the small to mid time frames, if we start losing the $20,000 levels, guys, then then we can talk about Bitcoin's price action coming down all the way towards $14,000-$15,000 levels, and the moving average unfortunately would not have made its way all the way towards the previous all-time high, and that could be very, very weak in terms of the big picture, guys. That would cause for a really, really big concern on Bitcoin's price action itself. But am I talking about Bitcoin go to zero? I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. The adoption curve is as such that I don't think that is going to happen. These moving averages are just little, how do I say, guys, a lot of market participation is happening alongside the moving averages. So a lot of people, a lot of smart money is looking at these levels as your values, guys, values on Bitcoin, right? So areas of values on Bitcoin right now after this bear trend under emergence is sitting in at $15,000 levels right now. Alright, guys, I think this was a pretty long video. I thought I'm just going to be going on for a 15-minute long, but this back again. Holy shit, I can't help myself, it looks like. Alright, guys, it was nice talking to you. It was nice having a one-sided conversation with all of you right here. And I'm going to catch you all in the next video pretty soon. Bye for now.